Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello creepy friends, welcome to Slams and Bobs. Let's have a cheer! It's WrestleMania week! Yay! Are we excited? I actually really am. I think it's going to be an amazing show. I think it's almost been a little bit underhyped. There's so much potential on the show. Everybody, have a little glass. The cherry coke in the wine glass has been brought out early just for this pre-show, but when it's the actual Rania pre-show on Sunday, I will have my cherry coke in said little glass again, because I don't drink. So Sunday is WrestleMania 32. It is the one we wait for from literally April to April, beyond SummerSlam, after Royal Rumble, Survivor Series. The main ones are those three. Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, three, we'll say Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, alright, 4, I can't add up because I'm so excited. So the very, very first match we're actually going to discuss is the one you need your shovel for. And this is the Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde pre-show match. Team Bad and Blonde: Naomi, Tamina, Lana, Emma and Summer Rae. Okay, so that's 5. And then you have on Total Divas Brie Bella, whose last match it is, feel free to cheer, Alicia Fox, Paige, Natalya, and Eva Bloody Marie. I can see why they brought Eva Marie on in this, okay? I'm not going to say anything from that aspect. The reality is, it's probably Vince's doing. Do I like it? Frig no. That she got just as booed at Raw as she still does in NXT. I mean, literally, the crowd annihilated the woman. And I think that, according to reports anyway, they thought that she was going to have a different reaction and that the main roster crowd are going to have a different reaction to her than the NXT crowd. We're going to have a little lesson here, okay? This is called heat, hate, and face, okay? Face is you're liked and you're cheered. Sometimes you're not always liked as a face. Roman Reigns, for example, is a prime suspect there. He's being forced down your throats as a face. It's a face, but it's kind of a false face. I'm not saying anything against Roman Reigns because the guy doesn't bother me that much, but he does bother a lot of people. Heel, Triple H. Still cheered because you've got that longevity of fan, but generally the heel, the bad guy. And then there's hate, which is what Eva Marie has. Heat and hate are spelled the same 4 letters, but they're totally different things. And Vince and Eva think that her getting booed down to the ground is heat. It's not. It's hate. She is hated. Why is she hated? Because she is undeserving, uncaring of the wrestling world, and doesn't belong in our industry. This is a woman, guys, that walked through the door and said, I don't need training. Enough said. Any great wrestler out there, as good as they are, as amazing a legacy they've built, will always turn around and tell you, I can be better. Anybody. As a novelist, however good I read my work, I will always turn around and go, I can write that better. It's the same thing. I don't actually know any Eva Marie fans out there, apart from one, and the only reason he likes her, and you know who you are, is because he thinks she's hot. The only thing hot about her is that bloody orange tan. I'm a fan of women's wrestling. I'm not a fan of them bringing some cheap model in and going, here's a wrestler who doesn't love the industry, doesn't want to be in the industry, and is only there for the money and the fame, and not for the love of being there. Bayley loves wrestling. Sasha loves wrestling. Brittany Knight, Paige, loves wrestling. Natalya loves wrestling. Why is she there? The only reason she's being pushed is because Vince is looking at these. That's it. It starts and ends there. He's not listening to us as the crowd. Us as the crowd don't like her. We don't want to see her. It's not heat. It's pure hatred because we know that she doesn't belong in our wrestling ring. And yeah, Vince, I'm saying it, our wrestling ring. It stopped being yours a long time ago because you don't have a clue anymore. You know what? Shane is right. You are so out of touch. It's ridiculous. You really think that we want to watch this idiot try and wrestle? You really think that she's got heat? You need your head checked, love. Through reading a report last night, I actually have to read quotes that was said by Eva on a previous interview because, to be honest, I was reading it late last night while I was at work and my blood was boiling. Okay, so I'm going to read you what she said. I've got my iPad here. Walking into WWE, I was brand new. I did not know how things worked. Deep down, I wanted everyone to cheer and adore me, but this is the WWE, where it doesn't work that way all the time. There is a good guy and a bad guy, and I'm a pretty badass bad guy. You're not a bad guy, we just hate you. Now that I have now that I have the training behind me, I think that really shows I do have the skills and talent to become a well-rounded wrestler. I think it all goes back to me asking Vince and Triple H on wanting to go back to NXT to hone my craft and learn the ropes. I feel extremely confident when I walk out there now and I embrace the booze and craziness from the WWE Universe. At one of the live events, someone had a sign that said, "If Eva Marie is here, we riot." I thought that was pretty cool. The crowd reaction is something that I definitely love. When I first started, if I walked out from behind the curtain and heard a pin drop or deafening silence, then you have to look at switching something up. Now I'm embracing my heel character to the fullest. Okay, NXT fans unite with me here. She can't wrestle. There is no skill, there is no talent, there is no honing in on craft. Some of you right now are going to throw Trish Stratus at me, and yes, she came in as a fitness model. The difference between Eva Marie and Trish Stratus is Trish Stratus was a big fan, still is a big fan of the WWF, and now E. She got given a chance. Same as Renee Young has been given a chance. You know, alright, she's a broadcaster, but she loves wrestling. They've taken the opportunity, they've grasped it with both hands, and they were loved and are loved because they got good, because they had passion behind them. The only passion she has is the finances. She doesn't care about wrestling, she's not in it for the wrestling. And on top of that, and I don't know if people know this, someone like Eva gets paid more than the likes of Bayley because they're brought in as a model, and for them it's booking a job. It's not joining this thing that you've wanted to be part of for absolutely bloody years. It's not about that. So she automatically gets paid more money. So for all the time and effort and money that have been wasted on this Egypt, we could have had 2 more Sashas. We could have had 2 more Baileys ready to go, just needed to know the WWE line, and we're ready to go. She can't talk, she can't compete, the crowd hates her, it's not heat, and I'm sorry, bury the woman. I hope to God she fails, because I don't want to see that as a Divas champion. We are finally getting somewhere with the Divas division, and this thing puts it right back down to where it was. I'm done. I don't give a crap who wins that match, really I don't. I'm just annoyed that Paige has been relegated to the pre-show. Moving on. To calm myself down. Also on the pre-show is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. As you guys know, you win the big ass trophy. I really don't mind who wins this. A Battle Royal is just a Royal Rumble where everyone starts in the ring, and it's a great way of engaging the crowd and getting them excited. I think that should be the last match of the pre-show. Kane's in it, Big Show's in it. I think there's a lot of names, there's a lot of already announced participants. All of the Social Outcasts, Goldust, R-Truth, Darren Young, Mark Henry, The Ascension. We're not going to start about what I think has gone wrong with The Ascension, because it's all down to Vince. Don't mind who wins it, it's just a great crowd getter, crowd go-getter. And we have another 2 matches on the pre-show. I don't get why they've done so many matches on the pre-show, to be honest. I think they've really dropped the ball with that. Like the 2 matches that I'm going to talk about now. So the Usos versus the Dudleys. Now this, the whole tag division as a whole, they've finally got some teams in there. You've got the New Day, you've got the Dudleys come back, the Usos, you've got Connor and Victor in the Ascension, you've got the United Nations. They could have had some big, crazy tag match, you know, the TLC 5, 6, 7 or 8. I don't know what number we're on anymore with that. They could have done something major. They brought the Dudleys back and they've put them on the pre-show. I mean, I would be pretty peeved if I were Bubba Ray Dudley, and I know what his temper's like. And alright, the Usos and the Dudleys have had their issues, but I just feel like they've badly dropped the ball here. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, please, but I don't mind who wins it. I'm just disappointed that it's basically just a tag match and it's kind of filler and a little bit pointless, and it could have been a lot more. The other match that is on the pre-show that shouldn't be is Kalisto versus Ryback. Now, to my knowledge, this was meant to be Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio, because Kalisto was originally taking Cena's place, because Cena was going to be in the US title picture. So why is it, if Cena isn't putting value on the US title, gets relegated to the pre-show? I think Kalisto's on fire right now. I love the hell out of Kalisto. The match is completely mismatched in Ryback versus him. And I can see Ryback pummeling the guy. I don't know what they're doing with Ryback right now. I'm kind of at a loss. The title match, it should have been on the main card. Getting into the major matches that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 matches on the main card now. But bearing in mind, you will obviously have different filler moments between. There'll probably be a couple of live performances. Do we want to remember when Brodus Clay come out and did Someone Call My Mama? I don't think we do. You'll obviously have the Hall of Fame coming out, various other little different spats and spots. The Rock's obviously going to do something. He obviously can't compete because apparently that's in his Baywatch contract. But he's going to do something and appear in some kind of manner. I don't know what that is yet. So really, with 7 matches, you're looking at 2 an hour. So something like the Divas match should get a good long run. So the most recent match that was added, obviously, which we knew was coming, was AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I want them to just have a brilliant wrestling match. I want them to be technical. I want them to be sound. I want them to push the barriers. I want them to have a match that's gonna make each of them shine and show how good a wrestler they are. I want them to be technical. Jericho, I want you to do the proper Walls of Jericho, not the Boston Crab. I think Jericho might be putting Styles over, and I'm happy for that. I'm not a big fan of heel Chris Jericho because it kind of ends up winding me up a little bit, but whatever he does, it's still Chris Jericho. I think they've built it well, but we did know it was coming. I think the Y2AJ thing had potential, though. I think they kind of let that go too soon. But we knew that they were going to have a match, and I think for a debut Mania match for Styles, that's a great way to go. Jericho will bring the best out of him. I think Styles is going to bring the best out of Jericho, and I think that's going to be I think that's going to be the wrestling match of the night. We're all going to have different matches of the night. This will be the wrestling one, I feel. We have a ladder match for the Intercontinental title. It's kind of the 2nd year running now. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Ziggler versus Zack Ryder, which is a bloody shock. Sin Cara, The Miz and Stardust. I'm happy for so many of these mid-carders to be in the match. I was really hoping poor old Pac or Neville, whatever you want to call the guy, is going to be in there. Poor guy broke his leg about 2 weeks ago, and I'm damn sad he's not in the match. I was looking forward to seeing him. The thing is, he's such a little guy, but he flies and will take risks. And in a ladder match, that's what you want. I'm not ruling out Stardust to do something like that. I think Sami Zayn will do something like that. Ziggler's always a nutcase. Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, they've got... And then you've obviously got Kevin Owens, who is your grappler, who is the big bad daddy. Again, I think this is a great match to put Kevin Owens in as his debut Mania match. This has potential to be a show stealer. It's normally the one they start the show off with, and it will probably get a good solid 35 minutes, I reckon, because the thing is, so many things will happen, and what I always love about these matches is you kind of forget when things are happening. So you'll have, like, there'll be a ladder set up, and then you'll look away, and then 20 minutes later, oh, that ladder's being used, there'll be a table here. 15 minutes later, oh my god, oh my god, remember that table that they put there? You miss everything, but see everything at the same time. It's like the Battle Royal at the start. It's the crowd go-getter. It's the one that drags everyone in and gets excited. I'd love to see Ziggler get it, because I think it's about time Ziggler had another title run with something. Yes, we'd love him to have the title, the main title. But if it's the IC, it's the next one down. So that will do well for me. I kind of want to see Kevin Owens do a big stunt. Is anyone with me on that? Now, this is what annoyed me, is we now have the New Day versus the League of Nations. I said the United Nations at the start. I'm really sorry, it was the League of Nations. It's a 3-on-4 handicap match. God, Barrett's on the card. Woo! They've dropped the ball. Again, why are the tag titles not up for... You put the Dudleys and the Usos in a tag match on the pre-show, but then you've got the tag champions not even defending the tag titles when you've got such a big tag division, and it could have been so much fun! Why haven't you done anything about it, WWE? Why not? It had so much potential! Ah! And it's also kind of come out of nowhere, this match as well, which annoys me as well. But Wade Barrett's on the card. I'm British biased, sorry. The New Day is so over, and I've heard apparently they're gonna come in on unicorns or have some really weird entrance for Mania, and I think that's gonna be hilarious as it will be getting the crowd going. I think I'm more looking forward to their entrance than the match. We have the best women's match to come out of WrestleMania in in Sasha versus Becky versus Charlotte. Be still my beating heart. Obviously I'm upset Paige isn't in it, and yes, alright, I was very excited last year when we had AJ and Paige versus the Bella. I want these three to kill each other. And I've never wanted three women to kill each other more, not since Nixon Newell and Kaylee Ray at Southside a couple of months back, because that made me a mark. This is absolutely the best thing that could happen for women's wrestling in the WWE in recent years. It's something we've been waiting for, it's something we've been wanting, and God, I really don't mind out of Becky or Sasha who wins, okay? I want one of them to win, but I think if Charlotte retains, there's a possibility of Bayley debuting the next night and pinning her and winning, same way kind of Paige did with AJ a couple of years back. I'm just excited for this match. You've got Sasha, who is freaking awesome, Becky, who's really come into her own recently. I was worried for a long time, and I'm sorry, don't judge me, that she was going to be a Marty Jannetty kind of character, and instead she's made her own success. She's got the crowd behind her, and I love her whole aura and her gimmick. I love the way she is. I'd like to see her as a heel, actually. I'm not the greatest fan of Charlotte. I think I've said that before. I'm just not feeling her. I don't feel like she's putting her all into a heel gimmick either. It's just not working for me. It's a women's match that I've been waiting to see for a very, very long time. And I think that they could steal match of the night. I want them to do tricks. I want them to do some flips, some jumps, and suicide stuff. I want them to have a good wrestling match and show the Egypts of the locker room, like Eva Marie, what women's wrestling is, and not what being trained is. Thanks, girls. Don't mind who wins it, out of Sasha or Becky, but I obviously think they've got a contingency plan for the next night. If Bayley loses to Asuka, is it Asuka? At NXT. NXT is going to be awesome as well on Friday night, can I just say. If she loses, I can see her maybe debuting on Raw a couple of days later. And she is going to be huge because the crowd loves her, kids love her, and she is a great wrestler as well. So we're not going to talk about Bayley right now. For a triple threat, come on, give it to me, please. This one I think is going to be an all-out war, and it is Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a no-holds-barred street fight. I love the spot on Monday Night Raw with Dean Ambrose coming out and just filling up his little trailer with the chainsaw and Barbie and all different kinds of things, a fire extinguisher, and just pulling it along. Just didn't need to say anything to Lesnar or Heyman, just da-da-da-da-da, oh, just kettle me toys, da-da-da-da-da, and off he goes again. I thought that was genius. Ambrose is amazing on the mic, but sometimes he just has to stand there. He doesn't have to say anything. And I think that's kind of genius with him. I think he's great fun. All right, yes, we did want to see Brock Lesnar versus the Wyatts. I will admit to that. And why the hell aren't the Wyatts in Mania? We don't know. I know Luke Harper is now on the injured list. Did anybody see that joke of the set of all injured superstar figurines? I thought that was brilliant. They should bring that out just as a joke. I think people would buy it. I might buy that just for a laugh. This doesn't matter about Brock's UFC skills. It doesn't matter about Ambrose. It doesn't matter about wrestling. If you're in a street fight, I want to see you use weapons. I want to see you go all around the arena. And it's a pretty bloody big space. I want to see you go outside of it. I want to see you kill each other. I want to see maybe a little streak of blood somewhere along the line. I want to see some stunts, and I think Ambrose is crazy enough to do that. I just want to see sheer insanity, and I think these two are going to do that. I really do. I think they are just going to have an all-out war. Weapons. I'd like to see the chainsaw at least turned on and run after Lesnar with it, because I think obviously they're not going to carve each other up with a chainsaw. I think that they're still going to do something, and I would like very much to see that. I'd just like him to sort of, you know, like Leatherface does in Texas Chainsaw, just and then they go, ah, and run away. I'd like to at least see that. That would make me a happy girl. Yes, I have a screwed up mind, deal with it. Leading into our two biggest matches, I feel anyway, although there's been rumours that apparently the title match isn't going to close Mania, but Ambrose and Lesnar might. I know Ambrose is super over and they're completely feeding off that, we'll discuss that in a minute. So I'm going to save my favourite one for the end, and I'm going to go straight on to Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns is not over with the crowd, and a lot of you boo him. You're not getting the time to build and warm to him. You're just having him forced in your mouth, like the Bellas were, like Cena is at times. You're not getting the choice to kind of warm to him. Ambrose, alright, Ambrose has a special spark, for me anyway. The crowd have warmed to him because he's good, because they've given him the chance to go, alright, here I am, here's what I do, what do you think? And they've warmed to him for that reason, whereas Reigns has kind of been forced up, pushed in, and I don't think people are taking to him for that reason personally. It is just a singles match for the title, and alright, Triple H is a little bit older. Reigns has some good moves, but he is gonna be the next Cena by the look of it. I think he's a bit more technically sound than Cena, however he's still a bit dry on the mic. I personally think Reigns is gonna win, and I know that's gonna get a lot of boos from you guys, but I don't think Triple H is gonna keep the title anymore. I think it was only really as a temporary measure, and it's going to upset Vince because he loves Reigns. I don't think it's going to be a popular choice on the night. Really, it should shut the show with streamers and balloons and the Authority looking around going, ah! It's probably not going to happen that way. It's probably going to be the streamers. And if, as I said before, there was talk online last week that Ambrose and Lesnar were going to close the show as opposed to the main title, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with it because the next one should close the show, my opinion. It's not going to get the reaction I think the Authority behind the scenes want. Going on to the last match, which was the saviour of Monday Night Raw, was Shane versus, Shane versus The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. Destroy each other. Please destroy each other. I want to see you rip each other apart. I want to see blood everywhere. I want to be horrified as well as in love. Please. Yeah, I want to see war. Okay, Hell in a Cell is the last step in a rivalry where the wrestling skills just don't matter anymore. It is about murder. It is about killing each other. It is about ripping each other to pieces. Blood, guts, gore, weapons, all of it involved in one. Stunts. I want to see all that. Hell in a Cell should never be PG, and that is, I've mentioned to you guys before, I hate the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I refuse point blank to watch it, and normally, if they do have the Cell matches on, and I have got it on, I normally, sleep for 20 minutes, because I can't watch PG Hell in a Cell matches, and Hell in a Cell should not be a pay-per-view. Incredibly excited for this. I can't wait to see this. I think it's definitely the match that's kind of been built. It was still such a bloody shock where Shane came out. No one was expecting it. They started mentioning a few things, and a friend of mine sort of said, oh, I sort of wondered. But I just heard Here Comes the Money, and I was watching and I just went, shut up. I wish to God this camera had been on me recording my reaction to that, because it was genius. My reaction was such a mark. Shane's a bit older, he's a bit wiser, but he's still bloody loopy and nutty as hell. There's a part of me that thinks he's going to jump off the cell and elbow drop onto the table below on The Undertaker, and I can just see it. Shane has got to do some crazy ass stunt. He really has to do something. The latest stipulation added to it, of course, is obviously Shane wins. He is the new Authority. Taker loses now. He's essentially got to retire, I think. But apparently he's on the UK tour, so that kind of is a little spoiler there for everybody. It's hard. I hate seeing the streak broken. I'm still not over the moment Brock Lesnar pinned Undertaker a couple of WrestleManias ago. But I'm leaning towards this thought that Taker might actually lose. And I don't know which way to go. Alright, it's Mania. Taker always wins at Mania, but what if he actually does lose this? Again, it's one of those matches where the outcome is irrelevant to me. I just want to see a proper Hell in a Cell match. And the thing with Shane and the thing with Taker, Vince, alright, has all these rules in place about you can't do this, you know blood, you know do this, don't do that. They basically just go like this to it and go, yeah, we're going to do what we want. We want to have a match. Taker and Triple H did the same thing a couple of years ago themselves. So I just think that they're going to throw caution to the wind and do whatever the hell they want. There's got to be a mad spot in there. I want Taker to have a cool-ass entrance. I still flash back to one of the previous Manias where he come in on that chariot with the crow. I loved that entrance. I thought that was amazing. I was only very young when that was on. But I think this one should shut the show, particularly if Shane does win. I know that there's rumours coming out that they're going to do the brand split again. Please no, WWE. I don't want to see the brand split again. It worked for a while, but now I like the way it is now and I'm happy with it. So no brand splitting. No brand splitting. No. Stop it. Don't think about it. Erase it from your minds. Get rid of it now. I think Mania this year has been undersold to everybody. I think with the amount of injuries there are, it's kind of been undercooked to a point because I think the company thinks, oh, without our biggest draws, it's not going to be a good show. But as I've been saying for probably the last 4 months, this gives the mid-card a chance to go, hi, get you on their side and hopefully make the powers that be see that they're great as well. And it's not always about Orton and Cena. I'm not just picking those two out of the hat here, but they are normally the two biggest draws. And I think them not being there. All right, Cena will be there in some capacity. He's already been doing some promo for it this week. They don't have to always be there. They're not always going to be there. It's going to be different as time goes on. I reckon this is going to be probably one of the best Manias we've had in years, and it's just my call. I can see it completely surprising everybody with how it's going to be. There's a lot of strong matches. There's a lot of variety. Variety is the main thing I've been wanting on a card for Mania for years. I think it was maybe 28 or 29 where it was singles match, singles match, singles match, singles match, singles match. That's boring. We've got a street fight. We've got a triple threat. We've got a tag match, a handicap tag match. We've got a Divas match. We've got a world title match. We've got a Hell in a Cell match. What more could we want on a Mania card? Really? All right, the tag title's defended. We've got a ladder match. What more do we want? It's got so much potential to be amazing, and don't rule it out, please. Just because some of the big names aren't on there, don't mean it ain't going to be amazing. I am completely hyped, and because I have been ill the last 2 weeks, my WrestleMania, I call it a weightness training. I spend 3 weeks in March, or 3 weeks until the date of Mania, training my mind to stay awake. So I'll do 1, then 2, then a week of 3s, and then normally it's like Mania at like 3 a.m. 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, just to make sure I stay awake, because I am the world's worst for falling asleep in front of that TV, let me tell you. It's not because I get bored, it's because I am not a nocturnal person. I do not have insomnia. I am terrible at staying awake. What I actually do, and you'll laugh, I set 10-minute alarms on my phone, and just in case I fall asleep, because then I'll be awake, but sometimes all I need is like 5 minutes and then I get a second wave of awakeness. If you would like to join us for WrestleMania, the BWR chat room will be open for conversation. Come join us. It's always a little laugh. They always take the mickey out of me. Thanks for your time, everyone. That is WrestleMania 32. I hope to see you guys in the chat room. I hope you enjoyed my very, very long presentation of this. Now that I have fibre optic, it goes up in like an hour, so I can spend as much time gassing as I want about this, which makes me very happy. Normally it was like, oh, better do it in 15 minutes so it can upload overnight. Now it's like 45 minutes done. Ha! I'm a happy person. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please do. I may do a WrestleMania reaction video the night after. I may actually save it till the Tuesday because something big always happens on the Monday night after Mania. We know that. I've got friends at Mania as well, so enjoy the show, guys. Even if you're not even watching this video, have a great time. I hate you. Boo Eva Marie for me. Can everybody just boo Eva Marie? Actually, please. Let's just hope that Vince finally gets the message that hate, not heat. Thank you very much for watching this video. Enjoy the show. Here's to the last cheers, and I will see everybody in Twitter, because I'm going to do some Twitter reactions as well, in the BWR chat room, wherever you can be. Bye, everyone.